This is SSLFamilyDad with Simple Suburban Living, and today I just wanted to run through how to recharge an air conditioning system in any modern vehicle. And I picked up one of these AC Pro recharge kits at actually AutoZone, and I believe this was $30 or $40. I'm not sure. I have to double check on the price. I'll put that in the description for you. But basically it just comes with the actual recharge gauge and hose, and then a bottle of the coolant or refrigerant here. So you can keep the gauge in the fill hose here, and whenever you need to recharge the system, you just buy a new bottle of the refrigerant. So pretty handy little deal and very inexpensive. So I think it's only $15 for the actual, just the replacement refrigerant can. So once you have the gauge, it's pretty cheap to do. Now, why would you have to do this? Well, if your air conditioning over time starts getting hot, we're not quite as cold as it was when you first bought the vehicle. A lot of times, especially if you live in colder climates, during the changing of seasons and cold and hot, rubber seals and things like that, gaskets can expand and contract, and they can cause a little bit of leakage. You lose a little bit of refrigerant, and the system stops working efficiently. Now, our system in the car here, it works sometimes, but it definitely doesn't work very well. When the vehicle is moving, it seems to work better, and I have a feeling that's due to the condenser unit or evaporator coil freezing up in the system because it's low on refrigerant. So one of the easiest ways that you can figure out what's wrong with your system is try to check the refrigerant level in the system first. If it's low, fill it up. If the system starts working, then you probably have figured out the problem. If it still doesn't work and this shows that the refrigerant level is in the green and where it's supposed to be, then you probably have another problem. Compressor's gone bad or some other leak somewhere. First thing I'm going to do is just show you here kind of how I'm measuring the success of this with a dual probe thermometer, and then we'll get into actually how to pop this on and recharge the system. Alright, so we've got the vehicle running and the air conditioning on the full max, and what I have here is a dual probe thermometer. So I've got, it just has these wire probes here. One I have hanging out into the wind here in the air outside of the vehicle, just to kind of get an ambient temperature, and that's reading about 79 degrees right now. And then over on terminal 2, this is the air that's coming out of my air conditioning, which is actually hotter than the ambient temperature. It's a lot hotter, and so obviously we have a problem here. So what I'm going to do is just show you how to attach the recharge system here, and we'll see where we're at and see if we can get this thing working a little bit better. So again, I've got the engine running and the air conditioning on full, and so I just want to show you, this is one of the access ports to the air conditioning, but you can tell if you unscrew this, it actually, the nozzle here is not going to fit on there. It's just this port's a little bit too big. So that's how you know it's the wrong one. There's two ports usually on every air conditioning system. And so one is the correct port. You want to add it to the right side, the high side or the low side. So if you can see, this is a 2009 Chevy Traverse, and I don't know if we can get a good shot in here or not. But right at the tip of my finger, right down here next to the oil filter, is our fill port. And so I'm going to try to get it to focus in there. And so you have to kind of look down in the engine a little bit on this particular vehicle. Now my other truck, it has it right up here, in the engine compartment, so it's real easy to see. So basically it's only going to fit on the correct one. Don't force it. It should clip right on. You'll hear a little snap. It's got a little quick connect on there, and all you do is just click it right on, and it'll be connected. So I'm going to go ahead and get this connected since I need to use both hands, and I'll show you what to do next. Alright, so just a word of caution, in this particular vehicle you have to reach down by the exhaust manifold and that. It's a good idea to let the car cool down and to have the engine not running when you actually hook the service port up here, the fill port up. So I did that, and I've got the engine started back up, the hose is connected, and we're just looking at the gauge here on the actual unit. Now you'll see it's fluctuating, and that's because my compressor is turning on and off, probably because it's hitting it actually has a safety on it. If there's no refrigerant or no pressure, it's going to turn off. And so it keeps trying to pressurize, and there's not enough refrigerant in the system, so it's cycling here. And once it's running, which is right now it's running, you can see it drops way down below the running range. And I have this gauge turns, and you just set it at the ambient temperature, which is about 80 degrees. And so we should be up in this area right here. And so all we're going to do is just hold the trigger down, and we're going to just kind of rotate this between what they say 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock. we're going to get some of that liquid in there and some of that gas in the system. So we're kind of adding a little bit of both. I just have the trigger held down, and I'm just fluctuating this back and forth here. Okay, and we're going to let go, and we're going to check it and see where we're at. And we're just going to keep doing that until your compressor's running and you're staying in between this little red V marks. And I can already tell it's running a lot smoother. Alright, so I'm going to keep adding some here until we get that compressor running smoothly. Okay, so you can kind of see here, hopefully you can see anyway, I've got my red V here and I've actually polished off the rest of this can. This can wasn't full, I'd used it before and actually tried to take this gauge off of this can and actually lost a lot of the pressure in it. So this wasn't a full can that I was able to put in here, probably half a can. And the compressor now is running smoothly and I'm in the green. I'm still not where I need to be, so I need to probably get another canister and add a little bit more because I like to get it up to about the 45 mark here in the green. So but now it's running a lot smoother, and I know it was definitely low, probably almost empty. So let's go over and take the temperatures and see if we've improved it all here. Okay, so we've got our ambient temperature still right around 80 degrees, and then now we have our air conditioning temperature inside at about 67, 68 degrees. So we're looking at about a 10 degree, 11 degree split between the ambient temperature and the air conditioning temperature. Now, we can get up to probably 15 or 20 degree split, which is really where I'd like to be. Like I said, I have to get some more refrigerant and top it off a little bit more. So you should be able, with one can, if your air conditioning's not working at all, if you've lost all the refrigerant in it, then with one can you should be able to fill it all the way up. But since I only had about half a can left in that one, we didn't get the max result here. But still, huge difference. Before it wasn't working at all because it was probably completely out or almost out completely of refrigerant. And so this is a huge improvement for me. And once I top it off, we should be looking really good. We'll be blowing ice out of this thing. All right, so we have much cooler air coming out there. That's going to make the wife and the kids a lot happier here on any road trips we have to take. So as I said, I've got a little bit more recharging to do, so I'm going to get another canister of the 134A refrigerant, which is pretty much all they sell at the auto places now, and that will screw right onto this gauge. So this is reusable, and I'll never have to buy this part again. Just buy the can of refrigerant to add to screw onto here, and then I can top off my vehicles anytime they're needed. So you shouldn't have to do this all the time. If you find that your AC stops working after a week and you recharge it, then you've got a major leak somewhere and you do need to take it in for service. But a lot of times vehicles 5, 6, 7 years old, you start to see a degradation in the amount of cold air you're getting, and you can chop them off and they'll work great for you for another few years. So it's also bad for your air conditioning compressor to run it really low on refrigerant all the time, because that refrigerant actually also acts as a lubricant. This particular AC Pro canister I got is also supposed to help lubricate the seals and find leaks or not find leaks, but fix leaks and things like that, minor stuff. So I don't know how all that works. I guess we'll see with time on this vehicle. So this was just more meant to give you kind of a general overview of the process of tuning or recharging your air conditioning system. So this is a pretty simple and straightforward process. I really think anybody should be able to do this. This is really not something that you need to take up to the dealership or the auto repair place to have done. It's definitely something that you can do at home. It only took about 10 minutes to do. I will put a link in the description to the AC Pro company's YouTube video. They actually have a YouTube video on the process from their technicians you can watch as well. And also I will put a link to this product. I believe I got this from AutoZone, and that'll give you a price for that product as well on what I used here. So if you have any questions or comments, please throw them in the comment section. I always try to reply to any comments that you have. If I missed anything or left anything out, please share that as well so that other YouTube viewers watching the video can see those comments. And hit thumbs up for me. I really appreciate that. Right below the video, just tap that thumbs up button. That makes a huge difference for me, so I can judge on what type of videos are liked by the people viewing them. So I appreciate that, and please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in watching any future videos. I've got videos that come out at least once a week. So thank you for watching. Have a good one.